What's up, guys? It's Ben 10,000 YGO, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero. And today I'm going to be giving you 10 cards that will assist older decks from Flames of Destruction. Stick around. That's right, guys, we're doing 10 cards that will assist older decks in Flames of Destruction. But real quick before we get into that, I have another YouTube channel on the Unbound series channel. This is my geek channel altogether, and over there I have a video on the predictions for the next Avengers movie, Infinity War Part 2 or Avengers 4, whatever they're going to call it. So if you guys are a fan here, or you watch me on the regular and you want to give me a hand, go check that video out and leave a comment on how I can improve that video, and it would be greatly appreciated. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the first cards that we're going to talk about, and these two cards are sharing the first slot, and that is Defrag Dragon and Background Dragon. With the rise of Link monsters, let's face it, guys, any monster that can special summon themselves to little to no cost is just a good monster to play in this game. If you guys go to House of Champs and watched the recent Markham Watch, you would know that cards like Junk Forward was a card that recently went up in value. So cards that special summon themselves, the whole point is to tell you guys is that basically both of these dragons have the ability to special summon themselves for pretty much next to nothing. Background Dragon here can basically summon itself from the graveyard if you control no cards. And then, of course, Defrag Dragon has the ability to special summon itself from the hand and the graveyard. Its cost is a little higher, but in the game, in the effort of special summoning Link monsters and rapid fire paces, any monsters that can special summon themselves for little to no cost are of value. So these two common cards are something you might want to look into, especially if you might be thinking about playing a dragon deck, which Konami seems to be going in that direction. So, maybe pick up a few cards, see what you're thinking. They're cheap, so go for it. Alright, the next one, we're Insector Picfolina. I probably butchered that name. This card is primarily going to help out the Insector deck, but it is useful to other insect-based decks. So, for example, if you are playing a Traptrix deck, now you have another monster you can choose to go into. Primarily, in that case, you probably still want to stick with Mrs. Radiant, but if you're looking to go more in the buggy area, this isn't a bad option either. And, a Link monster is a Link monster is a Link monster. In Master Rule 4, let's face it, a Link monster is a Link monster. It opens up the zones. That's really all we care about. Alright, and the next one. This one is a personal favorite choice, is Iron Dragon Timeaton. Basically, if you're playing, it's a great tech card if you're playing a competitive deck. It's also going to be a great card if you're playing like a Chaos or a Dragon type deck. The other thing is that you have to realize is basically its effect is really useful because it's almost practically free. And then, you're locking out an entire column seems pretty good to me. I mean, it's not the most relevant, but I dare say that it's going to see some play. Alright, next one is Secas Light. Sorry, I have a childish sense of humor. Basically, you can't use any other spells or traps in the entirety of the deck except for Secas Light. But in a deck like Super Heavy Samurais, that may not necessarily be a bad option. The Super Heavy Samurai deck is a deck that primarily relies on their monsters. But this card, Secas Light, not only banishes itself so it won't interfere with the the Super Heavy Samurai cards, but it also gives them a much needed, draw card. I'm sure that there are other decks that can utilize this, but right now, at the top of my head, Secas Light seems to just be the most useful for super heavy samurai. I swear I speak English. Alright, the next one is going to be Phosphorudge, the Elemental Lord, and I probably butchered his name too. The Lightning Elemental Lord. They could have named him easier. This guy is good for any light-based deck. Doesn't really matter what you're running. There's a plethora of them. It's the Galaxy Eyes Photon deck, Lightsworn, ABC, or Battery Man. This deck, these decks can utilize this monster because a walking Regeki is pretty good. It's not the most busted thing in the world, but, in the effort of having a monster that can be easily summoned in a light-based deck, this is not a bad option. Alright, next one, or I should say, and since Battery Men are on the list, which would have been a perfect segue, I totally missed that mark, guys. But that's alright, you guys come here for the genuineness, not because I'm always on point. Battery Man, we're going to get Battery Man Solar, which, by the way, you guys, you got to watch out for this card. This guy is, the Battery Man deck is already really, I don't want to say it's really powerful, because it kind of lost some momentum since Monarchs Stormforth got limited to 1, but Battery Man Solar really seems to put the oomph back in it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I was playing like my favorite version of Lightsworn, that one where I just summoned Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. You guys who are, long-time viewers for this channel already know that's kind of like my personal ace monster, so to speak. You guys would know that I play that in any deck that I can. And Battery Man Solar actually enabled the Battery Man deck to completely decimate me. I was not only staring down the 2 monsters pictured on the screen that you can see, I was also staring down the level 5 one, I can't remember his name, and the level 6 one, the one that bounces stuff. Oh my god, it was a nightmare. I was just getting pummeled. You know what I was? I was the Hulk in Avengers Age of Ultron getting punched by Iron Man in the War Machine, or not the War Machine, in the Hulkbuster armor. That was me in that game. So don't underestimate Battery Man. They have Solar now. And that card actually does open up a lot of plays and link plays going in the future. So, think about it. It's not a bad option. Another deck that we will be... Speak English, I swear. The next card is Restoration of the Monarchs. The cool thing about this is it's kind of a Monster Reborn / or Foolish Burial type card. Or not Foolish Burial. What is it called? It's the Burial equipped spell. You guys know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name right now for the life of me. But basically, this card brings back a Monarch card, which will then count as 2 tributes. Now, this is why I think this is really cool, is because we also got Caius the Mega Monarch in the new structure deck, the virus structure deck, so it's like really, really well timed there. So for you guys who are really adamant, who really love the Monarch deck, well, you guys just got another way to play your monsters, which and the cool thing is, you can still attack with the monster you summon. It counts as 2 tributes, which is probably what's going to be more useful to you, but overall, I think it's really neat because you can also attack with the monster that you summon, and 24 and 2800 attack points are nothing to scoff at. So, there you go. Alright, the next one. We have Monster Reborn. Now, I am a member of a group of the Dino players on Facebook. Basically, it was the True King Dino Facebook group or whatever. It was started back when dinosaurs first came out, and among them is a list of one of these. They have a combo that might really be able to abuse Monster Reborn. So, for example, if you can get 2 giant Rexes and 1 soul-eating Oviraptor, your opponent is basically in a rock and a hard place, ultimately. Because you're going to go plus either way. Either they're going to pick the Rex and you'll summon a Rex, and then you can make an Xyz play. Or they give you the Oviraptor and you get a Search. So, and you're still going to get an Xyz play. So they're really like Ah! But there you go. So that's a really niche move there, and I'm sure that the Monster Reborn has some other qualities, but I'm just saying that the dinosaur deck really has a way to abuse that with Giant Rex. So, for you Dino players out there, you might want to be thinking about picking up this card. It's a common, it's cheap, you're welcome. Next one. And this is the final card on the list, and this is my favorite one, is FA Dawn Dragster. Think of this card as Clearwing Synchro Dragon, but for spells and traps. The cool thing about this card is it can be summoned not only in my favorite deck, but any deck that can synchro summon level 7 monsters. Which, you know, thanks to Destrudo, that's like every deck out there right now. For the time being. So that's the really cool thing that I like. Personally, is like any card that really kind of indirectly supports my favorite deck, which if you guys don't know, my two favorite decks are Dinosaurs and Lightsworns. I mean, completely different battle styles, but that's what, you know, those are my two favorite decks. So, FA Dawn Dragster is just really useful, and I really look forward to getting my own copy and putting it in the deck and having my own kind of one more monster that I can summon that's a walking negate. I mean, he's only going to come out, I think, at like 2,100 attack points, but, you know, that's not bad. That's definitely worse. And then attack points out there for high-level monsters. And, you know, its ability to negate a spell or trap card and is just way more useful than you know, than its attack stat is going to be. So that is just something really interesting, and most of the cards I believe on this list were fairly budget. I hope you guys don't mind that. I tried to stick to things who are not too expensive because I know a lot of us older deck players are also guys who may not, you know, who might also be a little on the, how do I put this, budget side of things too, so I'm just kind of two birds, one stone. These cards are all going to help out older decks. These cards are all fairly cheap, so, you know, that was my overall goal with this list. I hope you guys don't mind. Alright, well, make sure if you like this video, make sure you leave a like on the video to let me know you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and let me know if there's any cards that are really niche that I didn't think of that really will help old decks that I missed from Flames of Destruction. Please leave that in the comments below. Or if there's any other cool combos with any of the cards listed that I didn't think of, please let me know. I mean, let's face it, guys, when we casual players work together to make a deck, sometimes the craziest stuff that works happens. So feel free to leave a comment. I will welcome it. Anyway, I'm Ben 10,000 YGO, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero, and I'm signing off. Peace, guys.